Nityanandam Swamiji narrates about how Mata Vibhudanandapuri was in ecstasy on hearing the story. Swamiji narrates, he left me in the temple saying, "You can go now." He went away inside his cave. My ecstasy was too much which that new Kavi, oh God, I was running around here and there and shouting, "I got Kavi, I got Kavi, I got Kavi." The first person I ran to was my Guru, Mata Vibhudanandapuri, Kuppammal. I ran to her and showed, "See, I have Kavi, I got it." But I did not get a joyful response from her. She became too serious. She became very serious and asked, "Who gave you this Kavi?" I asked, "Why?" She said, "Giving Kavi means they gave you sannyas." According to our tradition, if the Kavi, saffron cloth, is equal to giving sannyas. Actually, she was waiting to give me sannyas. She said, "And how did they give sannyas without asking your father and mother? Now your parents will ask me about it. Who gave the Kavi?" I got little frightened. I told her, "There is a sadhu in the temple. He gave me the Kavi." She said, "Take me to him." And she started telling, no one will give you Kavi just like that. You have stolen it from some shop." I said, "All right, I'll take you to the Swami. Come, he only gave me. I have not stolen it from a shop. The cave is not a cave. It is a solid sealed stone." I took her directly to the cave, started calling, "Sami, Sami, Sami." But he did not come out. Had to prove to her that I had not stolen. He was not coming out. That was too much for me. She just held my ears and started twisting it. "Tell me the truth. Where have you stolen? Which shop you have stolen?" That's the way they would treat kids in Indian villages. She was my guru. That is why I allowed her. I said, "But from this cave, only Sami came out." She dragged me and took me near the cave and showed, "Whom are you trying to cheat? Is this a cave?" She pushed that stone and showed me. That only then I realized it was not a cave. It was sealed, solid stone. Please understand, only then I realized the first time in those 9 months that it was a solid stone construction. It was not a cave. That's why I doubt whether Arunagiri Yogeshwara taking me inside was physical or metaphysical, because I realized it was a stone construction, not a cave. It was a shock for me. I pressed Kuppammal's head with a promise, the first energy darshan. I said, "It was a cave, but it is not cave anymore." I stood there and she was just twisting my ears. She said, "Now you have to no justification." I told her, Stop. And I pulled her hand. I told her in Tamil, "I promise on you, I promise on you, I promise on Annamalayar." He came, took me, went and gave me the cloth. With that, I slapped my palm on her head. And that was the usual way the kids would tell that I swear. When I put my hand and did that Satya promise, I can say maybe this was the first energy darshan I gave. The power of my experience was so alive that maybe for the first time my neuron activity mirrored in her brain. The mirroring happened. Suddenly all her doubts, everything disappeared. All her doubts, skepticism, everything disappeared. She started getting fear. Till then she was treating me like how one would treat a small boy who has stolen something and come. Kuppammal comes to a space of listening. Suddenly her ears and her whole being was completely listening to me. She asked, "Are you telling the truth?" I asked. Yes. Now she has come to the space of listening. She was no more that doubting old lady. She asked in Tamil, "How did he look?" I described to her. He would probably 30 to 35 years of age. He had a long hair. He had vibhuti kumkum on his forehead. His eyes were shining. His body was glowing like light. He wore rudraksh. She asked, "For How many days are you seeing him? I'm coming every day, maybe for 6 to 7 months. It could be even 7 to 8 months. Whenever I come and call him, he would come out. He would sit and talk to me. And from where did he come out? She asked. I replied, from the cave only. He would come out, and I called, and he would go in. She asked, did you ask his name? I said, yes. I asked. She asked, what was his name? He said. It suddenly became my zone. With all confidence, I said, he said his name was Arunagiri Yogeshwara. That's all. She fell at my feet and prostrated. I was shaken because she was my guru. She was weeping profusely. Till then, I was crying. Kukpamal is overwhelmed by the tears. She said, we are all meditating for years and doing tapas just to see him once. You really saw him? He gave you the kavi. You spoke to him. Now she was a complete theist. She was completely able to receive the experience I was telling. I am torn between the bliss and pain. Kupamal cried and could not handle herself. She just left me and went away to the place where she was staying, to her house which was her ashram. Now I have a big issue. He was not coming out. I felt that I breached the word he told me. He told me never to tell anybody about him. I felt that because I told Kupamal the secret that was not meant to be told, he is not coming out. He was maybe angry. He shouted, so I shouted, screamed, Swami, please come. Don't leave me like this. I will not make this mistake again. I will not tell anybody. Please don't do this like this. But I could not see him coming out. On the one side, when I remember how she told me he is directly Mahadev, Shiva living here in Arunachala, Ramana Maharshi talks about him. Great Siddhas have seen him. It was making my body just explode in joy and bliss. He himself came and gave Kavi to me. On the other side, now he was not coming out. That was squeezing my heart. The relationship I had with him was that of Bhava. The Bhava, or the relationship that was beyond the five relationship of servant, friend, son, lover, mother. In just 9 months, the relation had become very deep. So to me, it was a loss of such a relationship. The avatar went on to explain how he was torn between inside bliss and pain, like a gopika who was blissed out by Krishna's flute music one night but fell into deep pain simultaneously when she couldn't reach him. Thanks to my mother-in-law, sister-in-law who were at the doorway because of the pain she burnt away from her incompletion, because of the joy exhausted all her good karma, because she exhausted both, she just became enlightened and fell on the ground. Liberated herself, she got liberated. I just dropped, I say, by crying and crying and crying. I just slept off there itself. I should not even use the word slept. I fell into some state. I was lost. The temple watchman wakes me up. The temple watchman could not come and wash the temple at that time. So the watchman woke me up. Sami boy, that was the way they call. Wake up, hold the pipe for me. I had to clean. Are they going to put the deity to bed? Go and have the Garbha Mandir darshan. And Swamiji rushed to the Garbha Mandir.